Hi, this is Pat Grady of Embellishing Bliss. Welcome to week 3 of Navigate the Journey. I hope last week you were able to spend a little bit of time in your journal each day and try to figure out what it is you want to release in your life. What is it that you no longer need, that you wanted to let go of and be free of it to make room for other things in your life? I told you that I was going to be starting in my journal just as you are, and so I want to show you a couple of things that I did last week. First of all, I left this page blank, and then I moved on to the next page. I will fill this in later, maybe put my name on it or something, but I wrote really big with my markers. I intend to and my intention is to trust in the Lord every day and find the positive in all situations. That just happens to be my own personal intention. Everybody's is different. And then I actually took the pages from the home plate and taped them into my book so that I had kind of my task in front of me where I had written in it just like I had asked you to do. And then this was the journeys, my guidelines, so that I have them in front of me. And then for this week, because I love color so much, I decided to just use my markers. And then this was what I did each one of the days, kind of changed up the colors. It was kind of funny because when I got to the third day, I was like, my lines don't have to be straight. You know, I gave myself the challenge to do something other than straight lines. So then they got a little curvy. Then they got sideways. Then they went curvy again. And then the last day, which was today, on Sunday, I actually went ahead and wrote down the reclamation. I went back through the book, took a look at what I had written each of the days, and kind of put together what my experience was for the week, how it made me feel, what I learned last week. I put my week 2 page here to remind me of what I had. This was the journey poem that I gave you, and then this is what I'm hoping to do next week. So that kind of gives you an idea of what my journal looked like the first week that we wrote in it. Okay, so now, big blank scary page for the beginning of week 3. I want to show you how we can get rid of this blank page. I had talked last week that we were going to actually start adding some paint to the page. So I usually use a whole spread because I write big, and I love purple. So I'm going to add some purple to the pages. Again, I have my little 2-ounce little squirt bottles, and I've got several different colors of purple that I'm going to be putting on the page. I like to work in 3s, so I've got 3 different hues. If your little bottle gets a little bit of dried paint on the top, I just kind of pick it off. It's fine. Here I'm actually going to show you what it looks like if I draw a little line as opposed to just a dot. And then I'm using just a basic gift card or an old credit card. And on this side I'm going to show you how I can take the paint and actually move it in different directions to kind of create a fun design. Then on this side, I'm just going to do more stripes because I want you to see how different. I mean, I put the paint on the same way, I use the same colors, but they look very different. And so depending on what you're doing, you may feel kind of stripey and straight one day, or you want to do things a little curvier. I'm taking my card and just kind of wiping off any excess paint. The credit card allows the paint to be on here very, very thin. But sometimes this might be a little bit too dark to actually write on. So now I'm going to take some white paint and go ahead and put that on here over the top so that I'm going to have the darker paint underneath, but this white just kind of lightens it up a little bit. so it's a little easier to write over. You know what? I actually don't think that was white paint. If I remember right. Oh yeah, it is. It just must not have been shook up very well because it wasn't very opaque. It was kind of thin. This might work a little better. So you might want to remember to shake your paints. There we go. So it gives me a better space. I'm going to even add a little bit more to create somewhere to write. But what this does with the color is actually kind of lets your mind be free as your hands are working. And it might make you feel a certain way that makes it easier to get what's in your head out of your head and onto the blank page. Okay, so this is what it looks like. The next thing I want to do is show you how to put pages from your resource material or your magazines or whatever into your book. This week is about reclaiming. And so I have done dyeing before, but there is an article. This is in I think a Flea Market Finds magazine, and it's talking about Fit to be Dyed, and it's moving move over commercial color, transform vintage fabrics, textiles, and clothing into new originals with easy dyeing techniques. So I thought that sounded interesting, and I don't necessarily have time to look at it all right now, but I like the article, so I'm going to cut it out, and I'm using just a basic X-Acto knife, and I'm cutting right down the spine area, and you could just tear it out, but by using this I'm going to get a little bit of a cleaner edge. That's one page. If I like just that one page, I could use that, but actually I'm interested in the whole article, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that out, and even the next page. And then I'm going to show you how to actually put this into your journal so that you have it for to take a look at for inspiration. There's lots of great pages in this magazine. Okay, so now that we have our different sheets, I'm going to move the magazine out of the way. Going to bring the journal back. And there's a couple of different ways that you can put pieces into the magazine. I could take the whole article and I could tape it all together. I could sew it and then tape it into here. But I'm going to do a little bit of different flipping with the pages. I like this Fit to be Dyed on the top. So that I'm going to fold on the top and have it like this so that you lift it up. It's kind of fun to create all these little spaces in your book. So with this, I'm going to fold down about 1/2 inch like that. I'm going to open it back up. And you can see that I'm doing this right on my table, but my table has just brown craft paper on it that has had lots of paint and glue and all sorts of fun stuff on it. So I'm not wrecking my surface below there. So you may want to put something down, especially if you're working on your good dining room table or something. Okay, so now I have this folded down. The glue is right on this portion. I'm going to tuck this around to the other side of the book and then just press it down. This magazine happens to be smaller than my journal. If I had an oversized magazine, I would want to cut the page down first. Okay, so you can see this is going to flip like this. Now there's another page that I love the color of, and I'm going to put that just right underneath. And so for that one, I'm going to fold it, but this time instead of along the top edge, I'm going to do it on the side. Again, folding it back. I'm going to put glue right down this edge. Goes on to the page before that. I just press it down so that it stays in place. Fold it in like that, and then down, so that I have several different flips that I can do here. Now I'm going to take the other 2 pages of the article and I'm going to do the same thing over here. So it's basically, I'm not going to do it and show you right now, but the idea is that when I come to this page, I can open it up. And once I've read this page and this article, I might want to write in there what I hope to, like for this week's lesson, is on reclaiming, you know, and the idea of reclaiming something that has meaning to me, and then changing it up by dyeing it. So this gives you an idea. Now the other piece of this is, once this has been painted on, I can very easily just take my markers, my little Crayola markers, and saying, what did this say? Fit to be dyed. Okay, maybe I want to just repeat that. And you can see the marker writes right over top of what I did. And then I could take just a purple ink pen and write my thoughts or ideas about this article. Just a fun way to incorporate what I've seen in some of the things that I take a look at of how it was inspiring me. I could just do this kind of thing on my regular week and just put in my prompt for the week. Like last week's prompt was, I am willing to release, today I'm willing to release, ... And sometimes by just having paint on the back of the page, it makes it a little bit easier and you're not facing that blank white page. So this week, hopefully, when you are doing your home play, you'll find what I've sent you is on reclaiming. And I know you might think that that's a little odd, because last week we were releasing. How do we get things out of our life that are not important to us? And this week it's like reclaiming. Okay, so we're going to put everything back. And that's not really the case. The idea is getting rid of the things that are not as important so that you can take those things that are meaningful to you. Like, for example, dyeing is meaningful to me. I love being able to transform things that were just basic before by dyeing them different colors, whether it's natural dyeing or with regular chemical dyes. Either way, it's very fun to see how something can be changed. So if that's important to me, how do I find time to do that? And really, more importantly, what are those things? You know, taking an examination of your mind and saying, what is it that I really had fun with when I was a kid? What did I love to play? What did I like to do? So this week, instead of spending 2 weeks in our journal writing every day, we'll be spending 2 minutes. Instead of 2 minutes every day, we're going to be doing 3 minutes every day. So we'll be extending that time a little bit. And then if you want to play by adding some paint, or if you found resource materials that you like, you can go ahead and spend some extra time and just play around with it a little bit, see how comfortable you feel. We'll be digging into it a little more in the weeks to come. But I just wanted to give you that, you know, the first little tips on how to do it so that you can start to play with it. So I hope you have a great week, and this week again we'll be reclaiming, and try to spend some time every day. I think you'll enjoy it once you get in the habit of it.
Have a great week, and I'll talk to you on Friday is our conference call. This week we're back from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, and I'll be sending a reminder about that as well. Have a good one. Bye now.